Assalamu alaikum. This is Abdul Latif Hayat, and this is session 6 in my review of Jawdat Saeed's main ideas. I have two more verses to quote, to recite, and then I come to some of his ideas. I will cover some of them. I have no way of, in fact, a comprehensive listing of his ideas. There are so many, and I don't like to bore people. However, the two verses that remain are one in chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, the second chapter. It is verse 256. Let there be no compulsion in religion. And people who read Jawdat Saeed will find it hundreds of times or listen to his lectures in Arabic. By the way, he knew nothing but Arabic. For reading, for lecturing and all that, writing. Let there be no compulsion in religion is a big thing in Islam. So if you believe in your faith to be true, why compel people? Why try to force them? One, also in politics, Jawdat thinks that this applies to politics, to ideas, to faith. So in politics, there must be no compulsion. People must choose and approve of somebody, and if they approve of him or her, then okay, that's right. He or she has taken the right position by the approval of people. And let's remember that Muhammad, peace be upon him, the great poet, the great prophet, reached his position by the approval of people. In fact, for 13 years, most of the time he spent in his da'wah, in his the call, he spent in calling people and accepting all the hardships and the persecution that they were exposed to. But he will not use any kind of force and will not allow any companion of his to raise their hand. In fact, some of them did complain, but he said, no, it is not right. We will not do it. I was not allowed to do it. So it is only by persuasion, only by call, by announcing, by declaring, by the best way he can declare, he can explain, he can bring to the understanding of people. Only that. It is al-balagh al-mubin. It is the very clear, the clearest of presentation, of expression, and describing what he has. Only that. And in fact, yes, it worked. People did come and accept his faith. At last, the people of Medina said, and come and be our ruler, and we'll listen to you and we'll obey you. And when he migrated, they received him with great celebration and jubilance. So yes, they accepted, and he was accepted, although he is the prophet of God, and God did not impose him on people. They chose, they approved, and that is the way for everybody who wants to be obeyed. It is by the choice of people, by the acceptance of people, by the approval of people, that one is allowed to rule. Only that. No violence, no compulsion. The last verse I quote is, come to common terms as between us and you. This is verse 3, chapter 3, verse 64. And that is, again, a big principle. And in fact, it goes with the previous one, because here you say that we, you and us, are on equal footing. I called to you, and I have my ideas, and I view you as equal to me in the exchange of ideas, in the call, in what I have of the truth. Let it be presented, and if you have something, go ahead. So it is on equal footing that we treat people. And by the way, Jawdat thinks that the world now has a big problem with the big powers which say to the world, no, we are above you, and we have a greater prestige and place and position, and you must listen to us. So the big powers, yes, they are very democratic, and people inside their countries, and the humblest person may very often may be able to appeal to the highest court. Yes, that works very often, and people have their say, and they have their vote. They cast votes, and they choose their ruler. So there is democracy and kind of equality inside. But with the world, no, that's not true. It is enough to think of the veto. The veto right, in fact, is a kind of idolatry, as Jawdat says. So that we have reviewed this, and I can say that I have time for one or two ideas more today in this session. One is that the laws, or the sunan in Quranic terminology, will keep operative whether people are aware of them or not. Of course, people are aware of many laws now, since the last few centuries. Yes, they have noticed, and they have come to realize that there are laws. The world, for example, an epidemic will spread by laws. It is not by superstitions. It is not by mysterious ways. It is ways that we can study, examine, and also have control. We can control things if we study. So the people do understand the gravity and the laws of this, and the laws of some health problems. They can study. They can think of ways of controlling things. But when it comes to the harmonious relations in the world, the relationships among nations, that's not true. That is, they have not applied the laws of the world. They cling to things, to their prestige, and this, as I said in commenting on the last two verses. But in the Muslim world, it is even worse, because they do not even believe that the laws of the world, as far as having a better life, a harmonious life, a control of their own affairs, they are even worse than most nations. And that is a main point of focus in Jawdat's side. So yes, that's enough for this session. Thank you.